but they'd buy their own health insurance. They can negotiate price, and it's going to be locked, so they can't go out and buy a Cadillac. They can go out and buy health insurance.
So that is Donald Trump talking about the bare minimum tiny concept of a health plan that he's finally coming out with after like 10 years of being asked. And the idea is you're gonna be on your own to individually negotiate your health insurance. That'll be a fun experience. And then he can't even talk about this plan for more than 10 seconds with thinking, yeah, but I know these bastards wanna rob us, so don't worry, I locked it down. They can't go get a Cadillac, which obviously everybody wants to do. This is what he thinks of the American people, by the way. But anyway, this is not a healthcare plan. This is almost nothing. But of the nothing, the basic idea is he wants to take a bunch of the money that through like the ACA marketplace and those sorts of things effectively go to health insurers, and instead set up health savings accounts for Americans. This is not, by the way, anything like a new idea. Republicans have been talking about this for a very long time. Of course, they're gonna be a big fan of this. It will result in overall less money actually being spent. The money will be given to individual people, then put right back into the stock market, which could potentially be good for some of the companies whose stocks will be purchased, but also if the market goes down, could be devastating for you and your healthcare going forward. And even if that worst case scenario doesn't come out, there's some potential negative ramifications of this if they were to even pass it. And I don't think there's any chance of them actually doing this. I think this is a brief distraction to make it seem as if they care about your health insurance as they cruise towards your health premiums being doubled or tripled or quadrupled in the next month or two. But anyway, in brief, this is a concept that has been favored by conservatives for a very long time. They says it encourages personal responsibility, which is always the buzzword they use when they want to screw you over and leave you out on your own. And so in this particular case, they would set up flexible spending accounts that would be tax-free. So money would go into it and you could put even more money into it. Many people already have access to these, by the way, as part of their health insurance plans provided by employers. And it would grow tax-free, and then the money could be taken out to pay for medical procedures, medicine, that sort of thing. But there are already some issues, and you might have already been able to figure one out by what I was describing as the money being able to be spent for. It doesn't actually cover your premiums, which is like, that's the big thing that people are talking about. Obviously, they want the money to be there when they need procedures and medicine and tests and all that, but also they have to pay a premium every month. So that's not actually a solution to the main problem in both health insurance and affordability that everybody's talking about right now, is that the premiums are going to explode. And so, look, we have more details we can get to, but JR, I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. I don't know if you have a different read. What do you think?
It's very similar. Like I said, every time we've seen remnants, concepts, pieces of plans from this party, it's never based in anything that can actually help folks get out of that affordability issue. It never, ever, ever is. Like, what is it that makes us think that these folks are still paid by these industries? They're looking to make more money off of our healthcare, that they're suddenly gonna flip on them. They just need to delay this long enough and continue to convince and fool enough people to thinking something else. But the problem now is, and this is where these establishment Democrats who were all about caving to Donald Trump and Mike Johnson to open up the government again before they finish this fight. This is actually where they're gonna be high stepping, because now these guys have to go back to giving us all their really bad ideas and plans. And it's just gonna highlight how much they really don't care about it. Because people can pay attention, read up on it, and see this isn't gonna work, and actually see their premiums skyrocket. They have to come up with an idea because they said they would. And this could be the next step of the failure of this MAGA party, really.
It's not even a new idea. It's not gonna solve the problem. And it's like, again, it's their solution to literally everything is like, how can we like sort of secondhand transfer money to Wall Street? Like, that's what they have for literally everything. And look, me bad mouthing this plan isn't saying that the current way that it's done is great. Obviously it's not. That's why those subsidies need to be there. And even with the subsidies, health insurance is still very expensive. The status quo isn't good just because the Republican alternative, which barely even exists, is bad. But I will remind everyone, it's not like there isn't another way that you can do this. If we jump ahead to graphic 5, The majority of the world's population lives in a country that has universal health coverage. If they can make it work in Canada and Mexico and Spain and France and Germany and Russia and China and India and Australia and Brazil and all these other places, I don't know, I feel like we could probably do it. Aren't we richer than them and better than them and stronger and smarter than them? I'm constantly told that. Why is it that almost everyone else in the world can make it work, but we are just uniquely incompetent and incapable of doing it? Or is it perhaps that we're not uniquely incompetent or incapable? It's just that there's some incredibly wealthy interests that don't want us to switch over to that, because even though it would be better for the people and even better for the government, it wouldn't be good for the private health insurance companies and other related industries that make a ton of money off the status quo. But that is why you're not even hearing about that possibility from the right. As they complain, as they have for years about Obamacare, the last thing they want is you to think about the obvious better answer.